Yo, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Crucible Brothers. My name is Lionhearts, and today we are here to talk about our first Crucible weapon in the LightFall era. Obviously, LightFall came out this past Tuesday. We've been busy streaming a bunch here on the YouTube channel, all of the campaign, all of the post-campaign stuff, and finally some Crucible games as we start to settle into the meta here in Season 20. So today we're kicking it off with an easy one added into the Crucible loophole this season, Return of the King. The Autumn Winds Rapid Fire Pulse Rifle is back, here with random rolls, origin traits, and all that good stuff, back into the wild for us to play with. Obviously, Rapid Fire Pulses can be very hit or miss in the current meta, but Autumn Winds has a lot of unique perks, great stats, and great options and accessibility for those who may not be able to find, grind, or get a God Roll Horror's Lease from Nightfalls. So today, we're going to talk about the Autumn Winds, its place in the game, and why you should be looking for one right now. But before we do that, make sure you guys take a second, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you leave a comment down below to help us out in the YouTube algorithm as we get started with this LightFall content cycle. Keep an eye out every day around reset except for Sundays. We are streaming here on the channel. We're going to be streaming LightFall, going into the raid race. We're going to be doing some competitive streams, trial streams, pretty much 6 days a week, unless something happens. So make sure you guys check that out, and without any further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, let's start off with what is arguably the worst aspect of Autumn Winds as a weapon, and that's that it is a playlist weapon from the Crucible. Like every other playlist weapon in the game, it has 45,000 perks, making getting the God roll significantly difficult. Right away, when you compare this to Horror's Lease, what is the consensus best rapid-fire pulse rifle in the game, the odds of you getting a good Horror's Lease is a lot higher than you getting a good Autumn Winds. However, you have to consider, to go for Horror's Lease, you really should be pursuing the adept weapon, which pops up once a season in Grandmasters, and if it's a bad Grandmaster, it's going to be hard to farm. You then need to complete those Grandmasters, and then hopefully you get a God roll adept. Comparatively, you're going to play a lot of Crucible. You're slowly going to accumulate a ton of rolls of this Autumn Winds over time, meaning that over a long time period, you are more and more likely to get the roll that you want. So yes, as perk pool is big, yes, the odds of you getting the one right away are pretty low. However, the odds of getting a good or suitable roll are actually pretty decent, because the perk pool, while big, has a lot of great stuff in it. So, some perks that you need to keep an eye out for, starting with the left column: Perpetual Motion, Demolitionist, Slideways, Killing Wind, Tunnel Vision, Heating Up, and Rangefinder. In the right column, you really want damage boosts. Damage boosts are what help rapid fires ascend from great to god tier dueling weapons. Harmony, great option. Adrenaline Junkie, Frenzy, Multi-Kill Clip, great stuff. Rampage, Swashbuckler, and the newly buffed Head Seeker. So as you can see, there's actually very much a lot of killer in this perk pool, very little filler. So getting some stuff that's usable is pretty high. One thing you gotta know, the thing that sets apart this pulse rifle 100% is access to Rangefinder. Rangefinder is a limited available perk on rapid fire pulses, and in my opinion, it's the best perk on rapid fire pulses because it allows you to duel into that no time to explain 36, 37, 38 meter range, and you need that in a meta where aggressive pulses are still the best archetype overall in the game. So Rangefinder is the best perk you can get in the left column by far. Pair that with any damage perk. I'm not even mad about some moving target action or some elemental capacitor if you're into that, but I'm all about the damage perks, so Rangefinder plus a damage perk would be a god roll. From there, frankly, I would just tailor the roll to your preferences. If you're more of a controller player or someone who likes high stability, go for small bore, ricochet, stability, masterwork. Maybe pump up some of that usability over lethality if that's what you need. However, if you're game and you really like this weapon and you want to be able to control your recoil, I would say going for high range, Hammerforge, small bore, range masterwork is ideal, because you can push 39 plus meters with rangefinder on this weapon, and that is a super, super competitive range. Please ignore my dog in the background. She is a giant baby. Alright, so you know what to look for. Let's talk a little bit about rapid fire pulses in the current meta. Obviously, when it comes to pulse rifle dominance, we all know this is a world run by No Time to Explain and nobody else. The dominance of high impact pulses is complete and utter until you get into the range where SMGs delete everything. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and frankly, I have bacon strapped to my thighs. The problem is, when you take rapid fires, you're often outranged. So obviously, Autumn Winds with the rangefinder has a huge advantage. So when you get into that 1v1 with a No Time to Explain, yes, you have a base time to kill disadvantage. However, your rate of fire, your flinch output is so high that you can win those duels, unless they have time dilation up with the little gun buddy, and then, listen, sometimes you just go to the spawn screen. It happens to the best of us. Outside of the Ombi's disadvantage against the high impact pulse archetype, you duel pretty much every other primary beautifully unless you get outranged by a scout rifle. Auto rifles, dusted. SMGs, you just gotta sit back. Hand cannons, well, you're putting out a ton of flinch. You are very hard to deal with. That duel is massively in your favor. And the great part about rapid fires, as opposed to other pulse archetypes, is that they kind of bridge the gap between like an SMG auto rifle playstyle and more of a playback, laning pulse rifle style. They're very aggressive weapons, so they pair great with both sniper rifles, fusion rifles, and shotguns. There is no real loadout restriction when you run this weapon. So you take it out into the wild, you have a lot of versatility, great average time to kill, and high potential lethality on your side, and you are a dueling monster. If you're a longtime veteran of the Crucible, you'll know that Darkest Before from Trials of the Nine was one of the most notorious weapons in the game for a very long time because of its ability to swing, take a gunfight, and make you feel so punished with its flinch output, and you get a lot of that here with Autumn Winds. Now, in terms of loadout recommendations, there's quite a lot you can do with these weapons. Autumn Winds is very versatile. I really like it with stuff like a Secant Filament's Devour build on Warlock. It makes you an absolute menace. You proc your Devour, you drop your Empowering Rift, and now the lane is yours. You get that TTK bump, that range bump, and man, you can just chain these long Devour runs, even in high skill-based matchmaking lobbies, because you're able to take multiple duels at once. Please, maybe we need to make a dedicated video about it, but Devour is somehow still one of the most slept-on builds in the entire game. You pair it with a weapon like Autumn Winds, and you are off to the races. If you want something that's a little bit less stress, obviously any kind of Radiant Solar build on Warlock, Hunter, or Titan will make great use of the Autumn Winds. Anytime you add a damage buff to this archetype, you're going to be getting great benefits. And of course, if you just want to play a little simpler and maybe a little more basic in my opinion, you can always go with the good old Void Hunter, some invisibility, take your lanes, bring a sniper rifle. You can sit behind a barricade with your overshield on Void Titan. If that's your flavor of tea, live your movie. I'm not one to stop you. I really do think this weapon is versatile in every aspect of the game. The only time that I'm kind of like, I don't want to bring a rapid fire pulse rifle is maybe on some of those slower, longer paced trials lobbies. Like when you get into a really long range map where people are going to be leaning and team shotting, sometimes you just get outcrapped by some of the outliers at long range. That's just kind of unfortunately how the game goes. Taking swings into sniper rifles is always a gamble. Taking a swing into No Time to Explain is a gamble for everybody, so don't really feel too bad about it. And of course, if someone can push you and get in close with SMGs are arguably the most broken weapon in the game right now, that's going to be a losing battle. So you have to have really great map awareness to maximize your potential with rapid fire pulses, but if you play with it, you get used to it, you're going to get a lot out of Autumn Winds, and hopefully today's video has demonstrated that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. A little bit of an easy video today. We're just kind of getting back into the groove of things over here at the Crucible Brothers. We've been streaming consistently, so make sure you guys come check us out. Let us know if you got any Autumn Winds so far, and how you're enjoying the LightFall Crucible meta so far. I will say, thankfully, compared a lot to what we saw when Stasis was introduced, Strand seems fun, but not backbreaking. Obviously, things may change with that as we get used to it. It's only been 2 days. Other than that, do you guys want some quick rapid-fire thoughts? Obviously, the campaign has been very controversial thus far. I will say the story definitely fell short, but I do stand by that the gameplay was very fun. Play it with some friends, have some fun, don't take it too seriously, and I do believe that as we get through the seasons here, Bungie will find a way to flesh out this storyline that they've started. Other than that, the post-game content from LightFall so far has been wonderful. Really looking forward to the raid experience, and there's so many new weapons to look at, especially in the context of PvP, which is what we're going to be working on so far for these next few weeks. So keep an eye out here on the channel. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, comment again to help out the YouTube algorithm, and most of all, thank you guys for watching. My name is Lionhearts, this has been the Crucible Brothers, and I'll see you when I see you in the next video.